That time of year again. That holiday vintage cube is back on MTGO, and if you know me, I love me some vintage cube or just cube in general. I've put up some of my videos for my cube, like the shorts of me doing the pack one pick one stuff. But in this video, we're going to talk and highlight some of the cards that are in the cube. You know, what is different from the previous cubes, and kind of top synergies that you should be looking for if you're going to play this. Of course, it is a powered cube, so that means that the way it works is it has power 9 in it, so you can do some of the most powerful cards, Time Walk, Black Lotus, all the mocks, and all that fun stuff. But let's jump into it and talk a little bit about each of the colors. All right, let's break it down, starting with our normal color pie of white. White cares about token generation, with cards like Lingering Souls, Blade Spicer, Ajani, Nakata Pariah, Ocelot Pride, and Jacked Rabbit. Going wide is always a strong strategy when drafting white, especially with new cards to the Holiday Cube with Enduring Innocence, Sanguine Evangelist, Securitan Squadron, or even the Overlord of the Mistmoors. So these are some really cool new additions to the cube. You'll be seeing a lot of this like Duskmourn theme added in, not just for white, but all the colors. Now, if you're not interested in the token generation, that's okay. You can always splash white into other specific colors, especially because there are powerful exile effects like Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Prismatic Ending, and now Exercise from Duskmourn has been added to the pool. So if you're looking for removal, white is a solid color to be grabbing. White also cares about powerful equipment running around. We have the Stoneforge Mystic lines that you should be able to utilize, especially if you're going tokens. Skull Clamp is great. You can also pick up Shadow Spear, Uzumate Jitte, Nettle Cyst, Cauldron Complete, all right, and our newest addition, that pre-war formal wear, to gain a little bit of recursion from your graveyard within white. The number one card that I would be trying to pick up if I'm going white is Guide of Souls. You'll generate so much life and energy off of all the tokens. You can easily close out a game with the energy jump that Guide of Souls provides. Next up is blue. As you might imagine, it's full of some powerful spells. You can get access to a lot of card draw cantrips like Ponder, Preordain, and Brainstorm. The draw effects continue with new additions to the cube with Brain Surge, Enduring Curiosity, and even Treasure Cruise got added back in. To gain a little bit more payoff from these card draw, Proph's Edict's Memory has been added to the cube. Now, blue doesn't only care about drawing cards and countering spells. You can also see some high synergy built in with the self-mill and graveyard matter strategies, especially with the Abhorrent Oculus. The next two cards will be happy to see you constantly manifesting dread, especially they come from the pipes, or Kiora, the Rising Tide. Be mindful, blue has artifact synergy with Tinker, Kappa Cannoneer, and Tolaric Academy, and Urza, Lord High Artificer. Be mindful of the combo that exists with our Thopter generation with Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry. With Urza combined with that, you can make infinite number of tokens and gain that infinite life there. If you're looking to splash blue, you can enjoy more of an Izzet build to win with Thassa's Oracle when you combine Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach, and Lion's Eye Diamond. There's also a little bit of an anti-wheel effect that works out great if you get a Wheel of Fortune or Time Spiral. You could try to pick up Hull Breacher or Narset Parter of Veils to be able to shut down your opponent from drawing lots of cards. Or maybe you'll go more blue-green or blue-black to cheat some powerful creatures into play using Show and Tell or Flash to cheat out those big scary creatures like Worldspine Worm, Woodfall Primus, Atraxa Grand Unifier, or even Archon of Cruelty. Can you tell I spend a lot more time playing blue in the Holiday Cube? So let's shift over and see some new additions to black. Black is mostly known for the reanimation package. With Animate Dead, Reanimate, its whole goal is to bring back big, scary creatures from your graveyard. The first addition that we're going to talk about has been making a splash in Legacy, and that's that Metamorphosis Fanatic. You can, of course, cheat this into play for its miracle cost, which is quite easy if you go for a Dimir deck and set up your draws with all those cantrips that we talked about earlier. Looking for more graveyard shenanigans? Well, Overlord of the Baelmark has been added to the cube to help out with all those self-mill fans. Valgoth, Terror Eater, synergized with some graveyard fun, but also has that new emphasis on demons that they've put into this Holiday Cube. I would say the two biggest things to be aware of outside of the reanimation is a couple of scary game enders, like the Storm Payout card, Tendrils of Agony, or combining Vampire Hexmage with Dark Depths to instantly get a 2020 indestructible flying avatar. Now, black is still a powerful color to splash if you aren't focused on reanimation, since there are some powerful tutors and removal effects that I always like to prioritize reanimation first if I can, because it's such a powerful strategy within the black color pie. But you can splash in and try to nab cards like Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal to help out with your deck's consistency, or just go for some removal spells like Sheldred's Edict or Fatal Push. Who's ready to go fast with burn and aggro strategies using red? Now, the first two red cards that we're going to talk about are super flexible and surprisingly powerful to splash with other colors. Goblin Crater Maker is really good to get rid of those pesky artifacts or even an annoying planeswalker like Karn Sign of Urza. Fear of Missing Out, which gives you a little bit of a looting effect for anyone who cares about their graveyard, plus the Delirium benefits and extra combat can really close out the game. Speaking of Delirium, Tarfire has been added to the cube for all you Goyf fans out there. You'll also have those benefits of that tribal card type added to your graveyard to work with the Delirium synergies, but I love being that added bump to all my Goyfs. Looking to close out the game? Well, Goblin Bombardment and Screaming Nemesis are the cards that you'll want to hunt for. If you played any Modern lately, you'll know how good Goblin Bombardment is with tokens, while Screaming Nemesis has a stuffy doll Boros Reckoner redirect ability to take damage and redirect it to your opponent's face. Razorkin Needlehead is a powerful anti-draw effect that can come down early, but don't expect to splash this card like the other ones. That double red in its casting cost is going to make that a little bit more difficult. Now, there's a lot of powerful high synergy cards in red. Storm gets cards like Seething Song or Underworld Breach, or artifact and treasure focused cards like Generous Plunderer, Legion Extruder, or you could even help cheat out big dumb dudes with a sneak attack or Through the Breach. Rounding things up with green. Now, green still cares about elves and mana dorks like Noble Hierarch, since they also have that access to a super powerful land known as Gaia's Cradle. This newest addition to the cube shifts our focus into caring about casting bigger spells with the addition of Up the Beanstalk. All these new impending horrors go great with Up the Beanstalk cards. Cards like Overlord of the Hauntwoods, that is exactly what you want to be going for. Green is also going to be spicing things up with more Delirium because we've got Ursine Monstrosity and Valgoth Onslaught. Now, let's talk about other strategies to be mindful within green. Channel works wonders to cheat out a huge Eldrazi, but you can also use Eureka to put any creature into play. Now, speaking of cheating things into play, use Natural Order to find World Spine Worm, our Vaultborn Tyrant, or even that Woodfall Primus to overwhelm your opponents and turn those mana dorks into something scary. There's also a bit of a landfall theme within green with Bristling Bill, Spine Sower, our Elvish Reclaimer, Lotus Cobra, and Springheart Nantuko. Alright, I could spend hours talking about the cube, but I think this is a good enough snapshot to kind of get you guys enticed about what to expect within the cube, or at least some basic strategies to keep in mind for. Now, the holiday cube is running from December 16th all the way up to January 22nd, so you have plenty of time to get in there and start tinkering with things. I'm going to have a link down below so you can look at the full card list if you're watching this video before everything goes live, but we'll be posting up some videos for you guys to be able to enjoy of some of our cube drafts as well as some of our gameplay from it, and just kind of go through and talk a little bit more about the cube itself. But if you like these kind of videos, let me know. We'll start to add in a little bit more sprinkling of cube stuff on Saturdays for you to enjoy. But that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, everybody, and I'll see you all next game.